Right now, preparing for school emergencies, we take a look at a new method that the Madison district is using so first responders have a better picture of where to go.
I'm tracking a weather system, but will it bring snow? I have all the details.
And as Jews around the world celebrate the first day of Hanukkah, how community leaders are celebrating with the war in Israel and a rise in anti-Semitism at home. That's all coming up at 10. Thank you for joining us tonight. You've probably seen stories recently of emergencies at school buildings where law enforcement takes some time planning and testing entrances, then wandering hallways to get where they need to go.
The Madison Metropolitan School District is hoping to avoid that if a situation arose in one of its schools by making its maps digital, easy to read, and Arman Rahman shows us how.
Right now, if first responders needed to enter this school behind me, they would have to look at two-dimensional blueprints to figure out how to get in and what spots they need to go to. But a state and federal grant for the district is hoping to bring those maps into the future.
Look at like how maps are in Google. That's really what we're kind of trying to replicate.
Those old blueprint-style floor plans aren't always easy to read in the heat of an emergency.
To more adequately and quickly say like, yep, this is the K-wing and this is room 205, because it is really actually very difficult to do that with just paper copies right now.
Critical Response Group is working with the district to update and digitize those blueprints for each of their 52 schools and some district buildings.
And especially for schools, when you have buildings that have been renovated multiple times, you don't get a new floor plan for that entire building. It's typically just for the section that was worked on by the architect. And so what you end up getting is 5 to 10 floor plans for a one-story structure.
They'll overlay those digital plans on aerial images of each building, making entrances and exits and locations of AEDs and fire alarms easy to spot.
Basically kind of making these floor plans come alive.
If a gym or theater goes by a specific name in that building, that's how it'll be labeled.
And that way everybody has that common language too.
CRG says they've mapped 1,400 schools statewide and other locations like Exact Sciences, and they say demand has grown.
The amount of active shooters that have been in many different locations, not just schools, have you found that, you're getting more clients kind of wanting this kind of a service from you guys?
Yeah, it is. And here at CRG, we've mapped close to 15,000 buildings.
District leaders say right now, Critical Response Group is working on digitizing those blueprints first before they go on walkthroughs in each individual school and building. They hope to have those new digital maps in the next couple of months. In Madison, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
The mapping service is fully covered by the Department of Justice's Critical Incident Mapping Grant, which for MMSD was a little under $200,000. Critical Response Group says any interested school district can apply for the funding.
After months of threats, Republicans will not be taking any action to impeach newly elected Justice Janet Protasewicz. The state legislature had until December 1st to remove her and put the seat on the April ballot. If they impeach Protasewicz now, Governor Evers gets to fill the seat. Republicans have been threatening to impeach her over her failing to recuse herself from a legislative redistricting case.
Hunter Biden, President Biden's son, has been indicted on 9 tax charges in California. The new charges, 3 felonies and 6 misdemeanors, come in addition to federal firearms charges in Delaware, alleging Hunter Biden broke a law against drug users having guns in 2018. Defense attorneys have signaled they plan to fight any new charges. While questions have arisen about the ethics surrounding the Biden family's international business, no evidence has emerged so far to prove that Joe Biden in his current or previous office abused his role or accepted bribes. Well, another mild day of temperatures. Let's check the first warn forecast with meteorologist Alex Harrington.
Yeah, Charlotte, we got a whole nother day of mild temperatures. Enter all the gold. Got to sport the weather here, even though it looks festive and Christmas-like behind me. Not feeling like Christmas time temperature-wise right now. But will we have any snow in our forecast? That's coming up here in just a second. When you see all the gold on the map, all you need to know is that means that it's warmer now than it was 24 hours ago. Temperatures right now, they've warmed back up to about 40 in Madison. I think this is where we're going to level out here, and then temperatures will actually increase overnight, not decrease. Still hanging out at 37 in Wanakee, 39 to the northeast in Sun Prairie, 39 to the south in Belleville, but we will have those temperatures warm on up. Look at that. By 7 o'clock in the morning, by the time you head towards work and school, temperatures in the middle to upper 40s. We're going to do 54, so it's the Friday 50s forecast. Saturday, even temperatures staying in the 40s as this weather system moves in, but will we get any snow with that as temperatures cool on down behind that weather system? Well, chances are not looking very high for snow out of that weather system. We're going to track that system hour by hour coming up in Maine weather. Viewer photos time. I love to show them. Marquette County, look at this stunning sunset photo, folks. Really easy way to do that. Just go to channel3000.com/weather. If you scroll down a little bit, there's a little post your own button. That's all you got to do. And we see those photos, and then we get those photos on air. Coming up in Maine weather, we'll talk about this weather system, whether we get snow, and how used to we can get to these warm temperatures owing to El Nino.
Alex, thank you. Madison police and fire crews busy this morning after a train derailment on Madison's east side. Dane County dispatchers said a car carrier fell off the tracks near the area of Walsh Road at Sycamore Avenue about 9:30. No injuries were reported. Police say the train malfunctioned, which caused a rail car to come off the tracks, partially blocking Sycamore Avenue. Madison police say the driver of a funeral home hearse suffered minor injuries after they rear-ended another vehicle. Officers were called to the intersection of East Washington at Wright Street. This was about 10:30 this morning after the crash was reported. Police say an investigation into that crash is ongoing.
A jury is finding 2 men guilty in the 2021 murder of a Dodgeville woman. Eric Way and Philip Schmidt Way were both found guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as a party to a crime. The victim was Eric's mother and Philip's grandmother. An autopsy found that she died of carbon monoxide poisoning. Prosecutors allege that Way had purchased products known to react together to create carbon monoxide. Prior to her death, the victim had agreed to sell a family farm that Schmidt-Way would have inherited.
In health news, researchers at UW-Madison are looking for a way to detect Alzheimer's earlier in black adults. A recent study looked at cognitive testing and blood samples from 257 black participants in a study called African Americans Fighting Alzheimer's in Midlife. The research team used a type of testing called intra-individual cognitive variability. It measures the fluctuation in an individual's cognitive performance, which makes it less subject to biases, including racial bias.
There are so many different factors that go into racialization, for example, that change health outcomes, that change educational outcomes, occupational outcomes. And so all these factors are very, very important.
While black Americans are almost twice as likely to develop Alzheimer's and other dementia, they tend to be diagnosed and treated later in the disease process.
The number of children with symptoms of lead poisoning potentially linked to recalled applesauce pouches is now at 64. All of the children are under the age of 6. The FDA says you should throw these products away if you bought them. The agency previously recalled 3 brands, Wanabana, Schnucks, and Weiss, saying cinnamon shipped from Ecuador may be the source of the lead contamination. A 3rd death has been reported in the U.S. in an outbreak of salmonella tied to whole and pre-cut cantaloupe products. The FDA reports 230 cases of illness in 38 states. The outbreak is tied to cantaloupes grown in Mexico and sold under the Rudy and Malachita brands. The cut fruit products have been sold at stores including Trader Joe's, Quick Trip, Aldi, and Walmart. Anyone with a recalled cantaloupe should throw it away or return it.
Ceremonies were held around the nation today to commemorate the deadly bombing of Pearl Harbor 82 years ago today now. A 21-bell salute for the fallen was held at the National World War II Memorial in Washington. The attack killed more than 2,300 service members, launching the U.S. into World War II.
Well, we are learning new details about the gunman who killed 3 people and critically injured a 4th at the business school at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. CBS News has learned the suspect was a former college assistant business professor in North Carolina for almost 20 years, resigning in 2017. He applied to work at UNLV but didn't get the job. Investigators say he sent 22 envelopes containing an unknown white powder to faculty at UNLV and in North Carolina. Police say the gunman was carrying a legally purchased 9mm handgun and 11 magazines. President Biden will be in Las Vegas tomorrow as part of a planned trip, and we are expecting him to make comments about the shooting.
The war between Israel and Hamas now enters its 3rd month of fighting. Right now, more than 130 hostages are still held by Hamas. In Gaza, Israeli specialist teams are combing through captured territory in hopes of finding the hostages. In Rafah, displaced Palestinians are seeking refuge, but people are running out of places to go. On Capitol Hill, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries addressed the growing humanitarian crisis.
It's important that we provide humanitarian assistance to Palestinian civilians who are in harm's way in Gaza through no fault of their own.
In a phone call with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Biden stressed the need to protect civilians and allow them to move safely away from the areas of fighting. The UN estimates 1.9 million Palestinians. About 80% of them have fled their homes since the war started.
Today marks the first night of Hanukkah, and Jewish communities across the globe will be lighting the first candle. It's a time when Jews the world over celebrate light in the midst of darkness. Temple Bethel Rabbi Jonathan Betch says the latest rise in anti-Semitism and the war in Israel and Gaza have been weighing heavily on his community. But he hopes a holiday focused on light and resilience will be a reminder of the good that still persists in the world.
I think the celebration of Hanukkah is motivating. And I think it needs to be motivating. As difficult as these times are for people in the Jewish community, or for both Israelis and Palestinians in Israel who are trying to live together, we indeed need to share more light and more warmth with one another.
Rabbi Betch says one of the core parts of Hanukkah is to publicize the miracle by placing the menorah where it can be seen by as many people as possible, an idea he hopes will continue even in the face of anti-Semitism. Still ahead on News 3 Now at 10, Alex takes a look at the complete forecast.
Plus, a UW-Madison lecture is taken over by kindergartners. Why it's become a unique tradition for one political science professor. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Winner of the Best Evening Newscast by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Mercedes and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells.
This year, let Ford make the holidays bright and bring everyone together. Go over any type of terrain with Ford Bronco Sport.
How's the weather?
All good.
And the confidence of GOAT modes. And the versatile Ford Explorer with available seating for 7. And with power on demand in the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning, well, that's how Ford is making the holidays bright. See your Ford dealer today during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event.
It's a robotic money expert.
Clever. How do I start a savings habit?
Famous cabbage.
Savings habit.
Shaving rabbits.
Tech can make life simpler, but when it comes to savings habits, nothing's as simple as BMO. A BMO savings account helps you build the habit with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward? Ingenious.
Sardine Fest.
This year's top prize goes to BMO.
I'm just in it for the saving, but it's nice to be recognized.
BMO.
At US Cellular, anyone can get any phone free. So give yourself a free phone.
She's here.
Then give yourself the gift of not checking it. The gift of connection at US Cellular. New and current customers get any phone free.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CRV. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Mercedes and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells.
Experience the Channel 3000 News app today. Tailored for your news the way you want it. With a customizable home page and faster page loads. Download the Channel 3000 News app. Powered by News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
They're part of America's story, and today marks a new chapter for some well-hiked trails that weave through Wisconsin. Today, Senator Tammy Baldwin designated the Ice Age Trail and the North Country Scenic Trail as national parks. This means the trails get more access to federal resources and money to better maintain and preserve them. Baldwin says this boost to our trails further highlights what we already know about their beauty.
Running through the Great North Woods,
over rolling hills and prairies, past inland lakes and waters, and finally winding up along Lake Michigan. This trail showcases some of the best that our state has to offer.
The Ice Age Trail is 1,200 miles throughout the Badger State. The North Country Trail stretches through many northern states, including Wisconsin. Well, you never truly will know what will come out of a kindergartner's mouth, especially in a lecture hall.
A UW-Madison professor continued his tradition of inviting a class of young learners to his political science class. Our Catherine Merck was inside the classroom today.
Think about all the questions you have about the world when you're in kindergarten. Don't you think the smartest person to be able to answer some of them would be a college professor?
The question is, how many Earths can fit in the sun? How many animals can live at the bottom of the ocean? What's my favorite toy?
Today, a class of kindergartners was invited to Kenneth Mayer's introductory American politics class.
To see their brains work and everything firing and the questions and who's going to be the comic. What's Googleplex times Googleplex? That's the kind of question you have to be in college to understand.
He's been giving the best answers he can to these young students since 2003.
These are the toughest questions. I'm not doing very well here. I've gotten 1 right and 5 wrong.
He says it's a day of fun for everyone in the room that the kindergartners hopefully remember once their feet are able to touch the floor when sitting in these big seats.
You know, the parents were telling me their kids were super excited. They were going to go to college. And if that sticks around and, you know, they think about this, but, you know, it's just a lot of fun. That's why I do it.
One of the kindergartners' questions that got the college students the most excited, what are the answers to the final exam? The professor wasn't able to answer that one. Reporting from UW-Madison's campus, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
That's pretty brave. I love the faces they were making too. Like, what are you talking about?
A very captive audience.
Alex is here now. Yep. We're taking a look at the forecast. Pretty nice out there today.
Gorgeous. And we got to get used to this. We're going to talk about El Nino and this weather. We can get used to this weather. It's going to stick around, I think, for a good portion of the winter.
Wow.
I like it.
So if you want 40s and 50s and mild temperatures, we're going to have it for a couple of months, I think.
But for those who want the snow.
I like it, but it also sometimes concerns me a bit, right?
Yeah.
It can. And if you're a snow lover, it's definitely a bit on the concerning
side. Not good for the ski
side.
slopes.
Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot of snow here in the forecast, folks. We're going to go for 50 degrees on your Friday. It's the Friday in the 50s. That weather system that we've been tracking, we were first to warn about it last weekend. That looks like it's going to be mostly a rainmaker. I was just telling Eric and Charlotte, not looking like a lot of snow with that weather system. Then following that weather system, temperatures stay pretty seasonable for this time of year. We'll do 40 right now in Madison, although it's as chilly as 37 right now in Middleton and in Wanakee. We're seeing these temperatures bottom out right about now, and then gusty winds are going to bring these temperatures back up again. We'll see those temperatures that are down near Platteville at 46 degrees and 43 in Monroe. That's going to move back towards the north and towards the east as this weather system gets a little bit closer to us. Here we are planning your overnight low temperatures, I think at midnight. That's where, again, we'll do 40 in Madison, but our friends to the south and the west, they're basking in the middle 40s, and that's where we will go as we go on into your Friday. Look at that, 54 in Madison, 53, that's the chilly spot if you want to call it chilly and bearable. We got 55 in Lone Rock and 54 to the south in Monroe. Again, yes, it's December. Just look at these temperatures, though, here in the 10-day, in our 10-day forecast. The only day we go below normal is Sunday. Look at way out next week here. Temperatures at or above normal going way out into December. Strange, right? Well, it's an El Nino weather pattern that is really starting to take fold. More on that in just a second. Let's track our weather system here. By the time we get to about midnight on your Saturday, look at the rain showers across the area, stretching from Platteville to Mineral Point, up to the Dells and points to the south, towards the east. If you're friends to the north and to the west, you might not get much in the way of precipitation at all out of this weather system. And if we get any snow, it'd be on the backside. And unfortunately, it's not looking very appreciable, although it will turn a bit cooler, like I said, behind this weather system. Half inch at most up towards maybe Juneau and Adams County, sneaking a little bit of snow out of this weather system. Then our friends here at the Climate Prediction Center, when you see all this red here, and Madison happens to be pretty much the bullseye. What that means is going out the next 2 weeks, the likelihood of temperatures being above normal or much above normal is going to be pretty high across really all of the country. And this is owing to a weather pattern called El Nino. We've been mentioning this a couple of times, but what is it? Really, it's when we have those warm sea surface temperatures, those top layers of the ocean. Water normally are off to the west in the Pacific, but during an El Nino year, it sloshes to the east, off the coast of Peru, off of South America. And what this does is it sets up a pattern. It's like a game of telephone, really. The patterns of weather change across much of the country, across the entire world. And what we see here in the upper Midwest is warmer than normal temperatures. It tends to be drier, so less snowstorms, less cold snaps. It doesn't mean we can't get a cold snap or a snowstorm. It's just the chances of them are less during an El Nino weather pattern. And we see that here in the 7 to 10 day forecast. Look at these temperatures staying in the 30s after that weather system, 30s to right up around 40 degrees there, folks. Temperatures are going to be upper 30s to low to mid 40s, but then as we carry out, folks, here into next weekend, temperatures staying in the upper 30s there. Wow, just look at those temperatures. And again, viewer photos, just a stunning photo from Marquette County there. Thank you so much. Easy way to do it. Channel3000.com/weather. If you have the First Warn Weather app, just click the More button and then submit. And I think we've got some weather photos here to show. Clint, thank you so much for this photo. Very pretty sunset over the town of Windsor. Heidi, thank you very much from Janesville. More of those stunning sunset pictures. We've had some really pretty sunsets. Look at that, Michelle. North of Highland this fall. Many, many, many sunrises and sunsets that are just super pretty. Oh, look at that. Linda, thank you so much for sending us that photo. And again, as I like to say, Alex can talk about the weather, report the weather, but there's nothing better than to show the weather.
And coming up in sports, one word, elite. How Wisconsin volleyball flexed their muscles and advanced to their 6th straight Elite Eight. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Toyotathon is on. Time to make the holidays picture perfect with a new Toyota. We're going to need a bigger tree.
Get 3.99% APR plus $1,000 cash back on Tacoma when you finance through Toyota Financial Services. Toyota, let's go places.
Give your home a coordinated look throughout with Patriot Lighting. Check out our lighting showroom and update your home's aesthetic. Patriot Lighting is available in so many unique styles and finishes. Choose from our wide variety of 300 indoor lights. In stock for under $100. Like this wheel and wall light, now just $39.99. Visit our lighting showroom or check out all our lighting options on Menards.com. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
This time of year, we gather, we celebrate, and we remember the things that matter most. For us, that's you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care, because the way you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Roast beef. 4 for $10. Yeah, you know. That classic Arby's. Roast beef. Roast beef. 4 for $10. Arby's. We have the meat.
Salonpas, makers of powerful pain relief patches for 89 years, believes in continuous improvement, like rounded corners that resist peeling, with an array of active ingredients and sizes to relieve your pain. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Are you searching for a fresh career? Then join the team at Chalk D Building Systems.
We're expanding, now with 2 Sun Prairie locations, and we're looking for individuals to join our team as assemblers, material handlers, order pickers, and machine operators. Chalk T Building Systems competitive pay starts at $22 per hour plus comprehensive benefits. 3 shifts are available with overtime potential, and you'll become part of our 100% employee-owned team. Make your next career move on the careers page at chalkt.com.
Toyota-thon is on. Make your holidays a little more magical with a new Toyota. Come in today.
Get $1,000 cash back on your favorite models when you finance through Toyota Financial Services. Toyota, let's go places.
It's been the season of the climb for Badger volleyball. Kelly Sheffield has been preaching that since the summer. Steady improvement so his team is playing their best volleyball during the biggest matches on the biggest stages. The Sweet 16 stage is expected for Wisconsin. It's their 11th straight strip. Penn State standing in their way, and the Badgers were feeling it. Temi Thomas-Ailara gets up to get down for the kill. Temi time finished with 11. Then later, Izzy Ashburn sets up Carter Booth. And I don't know how you stop that. She drops the hammer for one of her 10 kills, and it was all over after that. Badgers called on their closer, and Devin Robinson brought the heat. Wisconsin takes down Penn State in 4 sets and advances to their 6th straight Elite Eight.
I think that there's always room to grow and room to strive to perfection. And I mean, that's what we do every day. I don't necessarily know if we'll ever reach perfection, but that's the fun of it.
Not revenge, but just a chip on our shoulder and knowing that we could have done better when we played them the first time and that we weren't at full strength. And we're still not there yet, but we're steady climbing.
The Wisconsin men's basketball team is pretty familiar with big games against Arizona. You remember the 2 times they met in the NCAA tournament during those back-to-back Final Four runs. Both Badger wins. And Saturday's matchup is no different. UW heads to Tucson for a showdown with the #1 ranked team in America, Arizona. And Greg Gard isn't too interested in that number in front of the Wildcats' name.
Tells me we're playing a heck of a good team. I mean, I didn't squawk when we weren't ranked. I haven't said one word about us being ranked. And, you know, we know we're playing a good team.
I feel like we can play with anybody. We've had that mentality from the beginning of the year. I mean, our schedule's loaded this year, and so having those tough teams, it's been really good for us to kind of know where we're at. We're going in this game with no fear, really. So we're going to look to get this one, look for a battle, and try to get a win.
Bucks taking on the Pacers in the semifinals of the NBA's in-season tournament. Deer down a point in the 4th. Giannis full steam ahead with the slam. He finished with 37 points and 10 rebounds on a court that's hard to look at. But the Bucks couldn't stop Tyrese Halliburton. He was a wizard tonight. The bounce to Miles Turner. Halliburton had 27 points and 15 assists. Bucks fall 128 to 119. High school girls hoops, Memorial hosting Verona in a battle of Big 8 unbeatens, and the Wildcats were out and running. The quick ball movement stops at Taylor Stremlow. The future Hawkeye dials one up from deep. Verona jumped out to an early lead. Kennedy Harden doing her part to bring the Spartans back. She takes it to the cup for 2 with the scoop, but it wouldn't be enough. Maya Ellis spots up and splashes home the triple. She had 3 alone in the first half. Verona takes down Memorial 66 to 36. We're back after this.
Happy holidays from our Dwellings family to yours.
Happy holidays!
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic for asthma.
To everyone who appreciates a handcrafted meal, are you ready for a taste of Wisconsin?
Butterburger's cooked fresh, just the way you like.
The way you love.
Definitely love. And our thick and creamy frozen custard, we make it for you all throughout the day.
All day.
All day, every day. Put it in the extra work and not cutting corners. Takes a little longer.
But it's how we've always done it at Culver's. Because making your meal with care shows how much we care.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
This year, let Ford make the holidays bright and bring everyone together. Go over any type of terrain with Ford Bronco
Hey,
Sport.
Dad.
How's the weather?
All good.
And the confidence of GOAT modes. And the versatile Ford Explorer with available seating for 7. And with power on demand in the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning, well, that's how Ford is making the holidays bright. See your Ford dealer today during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event.
This is a real person seeking a solution to a real problem.
Hi, fine, how are you?
Welcome to the Good Feet store. How can I help?
I have plantar fasciitis. My knees hurt, my hips hurt.
Then she was personally fit with Good Feet arch supports.
I don't feel any pain anywhere.
Good.
Seriously, no
Good.
pain in my knees, my hips, nothing. This is amazing. I don't want to take them off. It just feels like I'm in heaven. Oh, you're a blessing in disguise.
Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Getting highly mobile kids on Santa's delivery list, Monday at 10.
Is this a scam? If you're the real Joe Biden, say something only Joe would say.
Yum yum ice cream. Convinced now?
Yes.
Weeknights on CBS.
Alex rejoins us now. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, all good stuff. Temperatures starting off right around 40 degrees in the morning, and then we'll warm up to the mid-40s, actually, by the time you get to work and school. We'll do 54. That's not a misprint. 54 for a high temperature on your Friday. That snow with this weather system should be to the north. Juneau and Adams counties. The rest of us could be looking at some rain showers with that weather system. So look at that. Staying in the 30s and 40s all of next week.
Well, thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.